Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world.
Watching John with the machine, it was suddenly so clear. The Terminator would never stop. It would never leave him. And it would never hurt him, never shout at him or get drunk and hit him or say it was too busy to spend time with him. It would always be there, and it would die to protect him. Of all the would-be fathers who came and went over the years, this thing, this machine, was the only one who measured up. In an insane world, it was the sanest choice.
That was Linda Hamilton playing Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Yes, you are in fact here. It's the 2 Minute Terminator. I'm Ethan McKinley, and this is the 2 Minute Terminator podcast where we discuss the Terminator 2 minutes at a time. Well, the entire franchise, really. We are going to get to more movies. We're on Terminator 2 now. It is season 2. My co-host is Ellie Fitzgerald. Just walked in the room looking dishevelled, a bit like the hobo who Kyle Reese steals the trousers off in Terminator 1. Hey, buddy, are you doing a podcast in here? We're discussing, we're going actually from 1 hour 28 minutes to 1 hour 30 minutes. So it's basically the 2 minutes bridging that gap, essentially. And quite a pivotal scene, which we opened on, where Sarah kind of equating the fact that all these would-be fathers that have come and gone.
Our mothers.
Were mothers, yes. Those priests weren't fathers, they were
mothers.
That's Cannonball Run. Sammy Davis Dean Martin. Ooh, yeah.
Ethan, have you been eating sugar in your sleep?
I haven't, but obviously we've just started the show with that speech. The listeners should also. I might just leave it all in, but I won't. This is our third run at starting the show, and I've had to manufacture energy, as I often do with most people in my life.
Sometimes you're really shit at it, but this morning I would have thought that you'd have had 3 bottles of fucking fizzy pop and
fizzy pop.
And a few packets of sweethearts.
Well, you've had a heavy weekend, I understand, before we get rolling with the show.
A very heavy weekend.
You even went to a giant event kind of thing and then spent the entire evening, I understand, talking to one of my exes.
I didn't spend the entire evening talking to her.
Who, according to Ellie's testimony, Ethan is sorely missed, not just by her, but by a plethora of people, of all the would-be girlfriends that came and went.
Which really fucked you up?
This machine. It didn't fuck me up. I was just, I just don't want you to be hoodwinked by the whatever. But of all the would-be girlfriends that came and went, this machine was the only one that measured up. I'm, of course, referring to my laptop, which allows me to do this show.
Exactly.
So, Ellie, yeah, quite a pivotal speech. Could be the speech of the movie, I think, that Sarah obviously turns a corner with her character here. Weirdly, now she actually comes to this kind of humanitarian view on the Terminator as her fear dissolves or subsides, if you will. She actually starts turning into the Terminator from this point.
Yeah, I also think she starts turning...
Content, bitch! Fucking say something!
Dude, I'm fucking half asleep. I also think that because she's kind of sitting back and watching Arnie help her son, and they're doing the high fives, and I guess he is becoming a tiny bit more human. I guess she sees him as the closest to an actual father figure that John could have had, as opposed to Carl Reese, who decided to kill himself.
Who would never beat him or tell him he was too whatever to go to bed, or etc. I should know this film, but I don't. What she just said.
So what she
is that
said.
to suggest that she's been with some really shitty men?
I reckon so, yeah. Well, you kind of would be. You'd be so fucked up. I mean, it looks like her whole life since meeting Carl Reese has just been like, oh my God, the world's going to end. I mean, if you met someone like that, you'd think they were fucking crazy. So anyone that's going to fucking stick their P in her V is going to be a bit nuts anyway. And they probably... She's crazy. She's blatantly a great fuck. So
Kyle R is a bit like my SLR.
Oh
SLA.
My God. SLA.
No, an SLR is a camera, whatever.
And SLA is a standard level agreement, which is a time scale in which you have to complete a load of work.
My Waterloo, basically. Neither a sheet nor a camera, a person. But yeah, my Carl Reese. And since knowing her, obviously, in the Holocaust, if you will, I've been with some really shitty would-be people. One of them I sit across from now as a co-host of this show, who's bringing the thunder. Oh, hello, we got mail.
It's got nothing to do with the Terminator.
It doesn't, but we will in fact go to mailbag, because I do think we have some mail.
Really?
I think so. I think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is only a quick episode because I have to actually edit this show together, folks, and then panickedly, of course, run to work. Will I make it? Will I not? I've got 3 hours, but sometimes it takes longer than 3 hours to actually get there.
Yeah, but that's because you're fucking special.
Yeah.
It's like yesterday when I was getting ready to go to this. Not yesterday, the day before. Oh God. And you were like, Ellie, why are you rushing around? You're stressing out. Like, you've got loads of time. And I'm like, no, Ethan. I run and stress around so that I actually get to these places on fucking time. It's called having some urgency. But yeah, anyway.
Doug Stanhope, by the way, was performing in Brixton last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Ash was there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he turned up after.
Oh, yeah? Did he like it?
He loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like... He walked in and everyone was really excited and I'd never met him before and I went, dude, where the fuck have you been? I was like, you're fucking late. And he went, actually, I went to go and see. And then we hit it off like a house on fire.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad.
He's a dude. You haven't fucked him. You shouldn't be sorry about that.
I'm not sorry about anything.
Yeah, you are. You're sorry about everything.
So anyway, do you want to expand some more on this little clip-a-roo?
Well, we've got some very fleshy tone colours.
Yes.
So that shows that, you know, we're really hitting the humanity now. Sarah's lips look massive in this scene.
She's got big lips.
I don't remember them being that big in the first movie, though. I mean,
Yeah.
look at that top lip.
Yeah.
Anyway, those sunglasses, they almost look a bit cyberpunky, don't they?
They do. They were. I don't know what are you citing as actually that Johnny Mnemonic. I don't. Does anyone wear Have you seen Johnny Mnemonic?
No.
It's like from the I think it's William Gibson novel from the mid to late 80s.
I
When
can't
cyberpunk became a kind of word in the lexicon, and they made a film about it in 1992. I think. I think it was a misstep for Keanu. Because he started. It's kind of like a Matrix pre-Matrix, I guess. It's 1992.
Did they starred you in?
He just done Bill and Ted. You know what? Tell a lie. I think Johnny Mnemonic is actually 94. Johnny Mnemonic. Here we go. 1995. God, bad boy, Ethan. Yeah, this was. I don't know. Keanu's kind of like. He's done some dross, and then he's done some like classic things that have kind of like, I guess, kept him in the public eye. He's done The Matrix. He did Point Break. He did Speed. Everyone thought he was done and dusted, and that was the end of him. And he comes back this year with John Wick, a sequel on the way.
Love John Wick.
But yeah, Johnny Mnemonic was kind of, I suppose, in between Point Break and Speed. It's got Dina Meyer from Starship Troopers. A nice.
Is it worth a watch?
I don't really remember it that much. I would say no.
Oh.
Because I would have seen it more. It's kind of a bit like, oh God, what's that Russell Crowe film? Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. Now, what bloody film are they in together? Virtuosity. There was very much as kind of like, I guess, cyberpunk virtual reality, that kind of thing in cinema at the time. You had Virtuosity, which was, I think, Russell Crowe's first kind of American movie. And he was paired up as the bad guy with the hero that was Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
But then you had like Johnny Mnemonic, and then like I think 2 or 3 years later, and I think, God, I'm going to say 98 was the Lawnmower Man.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawnmower Man was 1992. Oh my God, I'm completely wrong. So, what is wrong? I've just woke up. I'm sorry, guys.
Hello.
Hello. I don't need to see it yet. We're in the middle of a show.
I know, but
yeah,
I'm not
no.
really
So,
here,
I'll to like torturing you in this show, Ellie. So you had the Lawnmower Man, obviously Johnny Mnemonic, and Virtuosity. But yeah, no. I don't know. You probably like it because it's all like punky and weird, and
do I like punky?
Keanu's got a wacky haircut with no sideburns. So no, I'm not sure.
I like long hair, short hair, like really short hair, like shaved heads, like really scare me. Well, I don't know, they don't scare me, but they just weird me out a little bit.
So why do you think after this point in the film, Sarah kind of essentially becomes the Terminator, Ellie? Why do you think that?
Because she sees that Arnold Schwarzenegger's becoming more human, so maybe she's like, oh, for fuck's sake, one of us has got to be a Terminator. It's time for me to
I don't know. It's
take my stand.
Obviously, it's a good turning point in the plot and stuff.
And I guess because she's actually now in close proximity of John, and she's actually on this mission with John, she feels like now is the time to really protect him. So I guess that's why she doesn't really show much motherly love or I think she feels that she is there to do a job. She knows how serious this is. She's had this drilled into her for so long. Maybe she's doing it for the memory of Kyle. Because as we saw in previous episodes, John was like, oh, you know, I'm sure she still loves my dad.
I still think, though, she'd want to just try and kill the Terminator somehow.
But I think she can see. I mean, look, like he's teaching him how to high five and low five. Like, what was it? Up above, to down below, too slow. Like bullshit.
Yeah, but saying that, the Terminator can still have this like Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith-esque Order 66 built into him, where he suddenly switches to evil and just.
Yeah, but they took the chip out and then they put the chip back in.
Yeah, but maybe there's some kind of like time bomb in a sense, some electronic algorithm time bomb.
He's got an honest face.
He's got the face of an Austrian bodybuilder. He wouldn't hurt no one.
To be fair, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of chance, just her killing a Terminator by herself. If Carl couldn't do it and he was a fucking militant man.
Would you when they're like, if he was there now doing high five up down below with John? What if she just came over with loads of guns and just started shooting the Terminator? Now, would he just get shot until she shot him enough that he was like disabled or broken, or would he attack Linda? Is his programming to protect himself as well?
I don't think so, no.
Would that override protect it? I need to protect myself to protect John. So if Linda takes a shot at me, do I kill Linda Hamilton?
No, I think he would take the shots but try and restrain her. I don't think he would try and kill her because that's the mother of John.
Mother of Dragons, who actually went on to play Sarah Connor in Terminator Genesis, the greatest film of all time.
She looked really hot in that magazine cover the other day.
Oh, she scrubs it well. When they put makeup on her.
Scrubs up!
I fancied her when I met her. But I thought I initially thought when she came up to the bar, it was Helena Bonham Carter. And then I was like, she's too young. And I was like, who's this? She was, you know, she wasn't a 10. But like out of all the kind of, I guess, celebrities there, I didn't know she was a celebrity. She was the most attractive. But like I said, that wasn't, you know, a big giant, basically, listeners, if you've not listened to this before, I worked at the GQ Awards after party. At the house of Sigmund Freud's grandson, who runs Freud Communications, a PR company, and essentially every now and again, I think the next party I'm working at is actually in December, he throws just PR parties for all, I guess, the stars or celebrities he represents, and he just invites them all to his house, which is a glass kind of bungalow type of thing. Looks like
oh my God, that's your dream.
Yeah, it looks like some awesome Frank Lloyd Wright creation. It should be in the California hills, but it's in the courtyard of this terrace of Victorian, I guess, like London townhouses in Notting Hill, Primrose Hill. And he's bought all the houses surrounding it, essentially. And the alleyway between two of the houses that led into a mews, he's bought the mews as well.
The mews.
And owns that, essentially. A mews, international listeners, is essentially where they used to keep horse stables. Is that correct? It's a little cobblestone, like, cul-de-sac that comes off, you know, I guess, residential London roads. And I suppose it's where all the wealthy people who lived in all these mansions would keep their horses in town.
And that was me thinking I wouldn't learn anything today.
Well, Amuse now, they've converted all those kind of stables into, like, very exclusive, sexy little kind of, you know, houses.
Yeah, quite trendy, I can imagine.
And the horsey bit was now a garage.
The horsey bit.
Horsey people buying horsey bit houses. But yeah, he's bought everything around it. That's how rich he is. And he's got this just fucking awesome glass bungalow with, it looks like a Bond villain's lair.
Oh,
There's
wow.
like, you know, beautiful artwork from like artists that you'd have heard of, like just amazing, really.
Beautiful artwork by artists. Fuck me.
Well, you know, there's an artist duo called Victor and George who work together and do like this stained glass window stuff about 5 or 6, 7 years ago, and their work is in there, like the real thing.
Okay.
God, who's that artist? The cross-dressing artist, Grayson Perry, the tranny artist who like weaves these like very elaborate tapestry type rug things.
Tranny chases happening.
Yeah, not RuPaul tranny.
Oh, that's only tranny.
He's more like a regular man who puts on ladies' clothes. He's not. I'm not. Is he committed? I'm not sure. He's a bit like RuPaul, but he's obviously he's a visual artist.
There's a guy that works in my office. It's literally the spitting image of the male RuPaul. I told him the other day.
That went down a treat.
He took it really well. He
Just
actually
like
did.
RuPaul.
Yeah. I was like, dude, you look just... I said, please don't take offence. I said, but you look just like the male of RuPaul.
But yeah, no, Amelia Clark, when
Oh.
she was done up, I was like, oh, okay, she's the best one here. And then after the fact, it turned out to be Amelia Clark. Having said that, you'd think I would have fucking recognised her because I used to work with her, doing the very same job before she made it famous.
Why do you go funny around famous people when you realise they're famous?
I don't go funny around famous people. If you're referring to certain moments or shows on the other podcast, the stress I'm under to make sure that show comes off great and not just talk to the person. The last one being Alex Winter, which I think went reasonably well. Do you not think?
Yeah.
That was a good one. But as soon as you like go live with them over Skype, if the signal's bad, because I think really if you're going to do a professional radio show, you need like a business kind of width broadband kind of thing. I think so. Nothing at all would go wrong. As soon as you switch on to Bill and Ted's Alex Winter, the cohort of Keanu Reeves who were just kind of slating.
We love Keanu.
You know, he looks like Lego, and he sounds like he's swallowed a frickin' ZX Spectrum from 1983. You have to kind of like, you just have to worry about so many technical things as opposed to talking to the person. So your question structure goes out the window. But I think I handled that remarkably well. We got on quite good.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was good.
So I need to, as I leave shortly in about an hour's time, I'm going to email Graham Hancock and just keep emailing him until he gets back to me.
Keep emailing. You need to get him on the show. That'd be fucking awesome.
To restore balance to the episode,
Balance,
so I
and
can
we
just
can speak
start
about the
getting through people
shamans.
again. Because I'm putting other things off to get these big guests, and like 2 weeks ago, I'm in between these shows.
What are you putting off?
Well, nothing. But I was meant to do Adam Scorgie, and then Alex Winter was like flip flopping on his time. So I didn't call Adam Scorgie back, and then Graham Hancock said, yes, let's do it the week of the 5th. That's now a week ago.
Yeah.
So I need to chase him up, but you can't chase him to
These
the point.
goddamn celebrities.
Well, just so you don't annoy them either. Going, Graham.
You should call him Hancock. Graham's first name terms assumes that you know him well.
That's a nice shot. There we go.
That is a lovely shot.
So yeah,
What
I
does
don't
she,
know.
What does she carve into the table?
We'll have to find out the next episode.
Is that... Oh.
There won't be an episode actually tomorrow, folks, because I'm actually working
Again?
all through the night, and you're
Working
working
night
all
till
through the day. So I'll have to do it on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Where are you working tomorrow?
Same place. I think it's a Chanel thing tonight.
You know what that means.
Chanel.
More stolen bottles.
Oh, yes, exactly. Ellie, do you have anything to add to this concise but quite, I suppose, deep and low energy show?
I would like to thank all the listeners, and I'd like to thank Ethan for making me do this so early in the morning. Well, it's not even that it's so early in the morning. I just had a very, very, very
I know, but as I said,
exciting weekend.
the show must go on no matter what. You need to get this into your kind of like deep into your bones, Ellie.
I know, but I woke up and you were like, let's do a podcast.
I don't know. I just think, if we keep doing these and you commit yourself to them, this will help.
Recently, I have been on it.
The one thing you do need to do, Ellie, above all things,
Oh, God.
is get this music blog sorted.
Oh, God. Okay. Not
Because you
today.
are very talented.
Not today.
You've spoken to Vice magazine, pretty much the biggest media, I guess, outlet outside all like CNN and stuff now. That's got such a following, and that's taken over as the new alternative media.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's been established for many years already, but it's getting bigger and bigger every day.
It's gonna blow.
You've met the people in question. They like you, and they're going, we need to see some stuff. And you didn't do that stuff. You've spoke to them again. They go, I need to see some writing from you, and you still haven't done
No,
that.
the first time I saw them, they said, we've got nothing coming up at the moment. Someone's leaving at so-and-so. We'll give you a call in June. And so then I heard from them at the end of June, or was it July? And she was like, right, okay, cool. So you don't have like any actual experience in this stuff. Like, what would be good is if you could put something together and show it to us. She was just like, just whenever you've got something together, just send it over. So it's not like she said to me,
No, but that lady could leave, and then you'd lose that link and contact, and then the next person may not be so conducive
don't leave,
to it.
Amanda.
There might be someone who's not so conducive to, obviously.
What was weird though is I don't know. It was really nice that came from a Czech.
Do you think I would have a chance at speaking to Vice with my...
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because I'm a broadcaster / journalist.
Yeah, definitely. and you've got the gift of the gab. You're a good-looking guy. You've got 2 shows.
Yeah, this is. Well, I don't think this would cut a rug with most people.
Dude, it shows that you can put something together. You can edit. You've got ideas. You're
committed
funny.
to it.
You're committed.
You don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps.
I really do miss Ethan. You know, he's a very talented guy. But
Can't believe the fucking motherfucker said that.
she was being nice.
Yeah, well, you know what? Ethan has achieved what he's achieved without having any connection to anyone. Those people are the elite of London. Even Sid, you thought was this affable kind of like rock and roll guy. Do you know who his father is?
Who?
I've forgotten, but
he's real important.
well, I'm not gonna. I can't say his name, so I've forgotten it. But basically, his dad is one of the most powerful men in advertising. He's worked on all commercials with Ridley Scott, Tony Scott. He sadly has died recently, about 5 or 6 years ago, orphaning Sid. But you know, he's one of the most, I guess, talented and powerful men in I think film and advertising.
He's so cool.
He is. I love Sid.
He's really awesome. He had these fucking awesome contact lenses in. They were like kind of orangey, browny, ambery, like, because there weren't actually that many people dressed up because they'd all done the zombie walk that day, and everyone was pretty fucked up. But
we had a
Sid
zombie
was
walk
still
yesterday in London just to fill people in. That everyone dressed up as a zombie and just walks around London.
going brains, which is kind of how I feel today.
Yeah. No, the only reason I question going, oh, he's so talented, is because it's kind of patronising. Did you see?
But she was in that place though. Like, if she'd been sober and she'd been saying it, I would have thought maybe she is. But because you know when people are fucked, and the truth really does come out, and she just, it's the first time I've met her. She just seemed like she's being very sincere.
Sincere. Sin City.
Yes.
Well, on that bombshell, I'd like to thank all the listeners for listening.
Thank you.
It's not the longest episode we've done, but it's also not the shortest. And yeah, no, there will be another episode the day after tomorrow because neither of us are actually available for that. So bear with us, guys, and we'll have more stuff. In the interim time, I want Ellie to go onto her email address and send the branching trivia track that I wrote everything down. Because for some reason mine has been completely lost and I can't find it in sent either.
I looked for it on my Viber and I couldn't find it.
No, it's not on Viber. I sent it to you as an email. So when I completed all the... remember I said, fucking hell, 3 days. It was...
Oh my God, that was so long ago.
Do you remember 3 days no sleep? I feel like my brain's broken and I took every single note off the commentary and trivia track for this. I've lost half that list. You should have the complete list somewhere. If not, we're in major trouble, and this show obviously reverts back to the first season when we just like talking about our dicks and boobs and...
Our dicks.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I've been Ethan McKinley.
I've been Ellie Fitzgerald.
Hasta la vista. We shall return in 2 days. Baby.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world. I'll be back.